This is going to be a shorter and more sourceless video, but I wanted to get my thoughts on this out there. Besides, between the multiple scripts I've been working on already, I just wanted to upload something in the meantime. Sorry if this video comes off as rushed, because it is. Recently, at Annecy Film Festival, Warner Bros. Discovery announced several Cartoon Network projects: an Adventure Time movie, plus 2 spin-off shows, a regular show revival, a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends preschool show, and a Scooby-Doo anime. What you'll immediately notice is that they're all based on pre-existing shows. First off, Adventure Time is one of my favorite shows ever, and it's kinda sad to see it go from an amazing series to growing to become a meaningless franchise. I really like Distant Lands, and I'm really keen on watching Fiona and Cake if I find a chance, but I wonder how much more we can get before this world overstays its welcome. The Adventure Time movie, I'm down for, especially if it's theatrical. I have enough faith in Adam Mudo, Patrick McHale, and Rebecca Sugar that they won't mess this up. Then there's a prequel series that looks like it's trying to be akin to the early seasons of the show, and a preschool show about BMO. What confuses me is why they decide to go for such a young target demographic, considering the people that care about Adventure Time are pretty much mostly young adults at this point. However, I guess that what they're trying to do is lure in really young viewers with the preschool BMO series, and then when they grow up, they would watch the prequel series with its tone being more appropriate for a growing up age group, reflecting the early seasons of Adventure Time back when it was more
You know the penalty for stealing boots? It's poots on newts.
and less.
I know that look. You just killed someone.
Basically, they're trying to build up a new generation of revenue sources. The Foster's Home preschool series I, again, don't give a shit about, and the Scooby-Doo anime looks like it could be interesting, even though I am wondering where Fred, Velma, and Daphne are. But what really seems devious here is the regular show revival, because the show's creator, J.G. Quintel, already made a new show for WBD succeeding from regular show called Close Enough. And they, and with they I mean David Zaslav, loved it so much that they obliterated it off the face of the earth. I think this is just one part of a bigger problem in Hollywood today. Intellectual property is valued more than artists are. Companies would much rather keep on expanding on few profitable franchises rather than trying to profit off of an influx of original work. They have eager artists, but they just get turned down and get told to work on the same crap again and again instead. Hell, Craig McCracken has gone on record stating that he has pitched 16 original ideas to Netflix, and they all got turned down in favor of the how manyth Powerpuff Girls reboot? It's really sad to see a really creative mind be reduced to nothing but a vessel for brand recognition. As somebody who wants to work as a storyteller, it's really worrying seeing how many creators get reduced to naught but their most popular work. It scares me, because it makes me think, what if I make it in the industry, but everybody only cares about one work of mine, when I want to tell as many different stories as I can? Recently, I got really into Neon Genesis Evangelion. It may still be the only work of Hideki Anno I've experienced, but I don't want his legacy to be purely defined by that one work. While I would be down to watching the Rebuild movies when I can affordably do so, one of the takeaways from my experience with the show is that I should check out more of this guy's work and see what kind of an overall range he has as a storyteller. Generally, I've gone and experienced a lot of art just because of the people involved. I watched Into the Spider-Verse before I really got into Marvel because of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I watched The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Inside Job, The Owl House, and started Amphibia because they were made by people involved with Gravity Falls. I watched The Midnight Gospel because it was made by the creator of Adventure Time. I watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio because it was co-written by Patrick McHale, which has now compelled me to watch more Del Toro films. And you can bet your sweet ass I will watch Kinds of Kindness, Alex Hirsch's upcoming show, and play Metaphor ReFantasio when they come out because of the people involved in those projects. I typically look out for other works by artists whose work I've appreciated, cause get what? It's the artists that make the work what it is, not some stupid brand recognizability. Even the Barbie movie that released last year is a great example of this. Major corporations and ignorant people might see the success of the recent Barbie movie and chalk it up to mere brand recognition, when people like me watched it because of Greta Gerwig's vision behind it, which really was what made that movie. Barbie isn't as much a Barbie brand movie as much as it's a Greta Gerwig film about Barbie. My view, however, doesn't reflect the intuitions of a lot of people. For instance, when Revenant Hill was announced, everybody immediately tied it to Night in the Woods, the previous work of Revenant Hill developers Scott Benson and Bethany Hockenberry. Of course, my experience with Night in the Woods is also what led me to take up an interest in the project, but I saw that a lot of people got excited because they thought it was directly connected to Night in the Woods. It has gotten so far that there have even been people who try to slander the project because of some batshit conspiracy theory saying that Scott and Bethany intentionally caused Alec Holowka's suicide just so they can make money off of the Night in the Woods brand without him, with this game. Again, Revenant Hill doesn't even have directly to do with Night in the Woods. It looks similar just because that's Scott Benson's art style. I think the core of the problem is that we've entered the age of the consumer. The age of The age of Jeez, that word is making me dizzy. It's content. Art is no longer valuable. Artistic works have now been reduced to mere IP and brand recognition, keys to be jingled in front of an audience that has been conditioned to be close-minded. So, why do I have a problem with all of this excessive franchising? It mostly boils down to being at the cost of the artists and their creative expression. If you happen to be excited for any of these reboots and revivals and stuff, I don't want to stop you. I don't give a shit if you want to watch the regular show revival, or if you're a grown-ass adult hyping yourself up for Foster's Preschool for Imaginary Friends. If you enjoy it all, who am I to stop you? But may I also suggest that if you really like a specific work, that you follow the individuals behind it and check out what they end up cooking next. Often, studios set up works like that to fail, so I just want to say that you may want to show your support and appreciate it before it inevitably gets cast out by a studio that doesn't want to take any risks. And this isn't just a problem with the batch of shows and stuff that were just announced. In the same area, The Amazing World of Gumball is getting a 7th season. There are rumors of a Gravity Falls revival, which will completely miss the point of that show ending. And Valnet sites won't stop shoving clickbait articles about a rumored Evangelion revival in my face. TLDR, in my mind, artists are incredibly valuable. IP is not.